Have you ever found yourself working overtime to achieve that perfect cinematic colour grade? The sort of colour grade that has it all, you know, deep shadows, soft highlights, vibrancy, contrast, it has it all. And you've been working on this colour grade for so long that people have started to think that you were just a figment of their imagination.
Mate, he's still not answering.
I swear he existed, didn't he? You know, he was like a real person.
Yeah, he was a real person. You could touch him and everything.
Mad.
But you're too busy, mate. They'll see this grade's gonna hit so fucking hard, yeah? Their eyes are gonna be catapulted from their very skulls. Oh, it'll be alright, Faff, to squidge them back in. But as time goes on, you start to think,
Should it always be this much hard work?
but you think just a little bit longer, you know, you can't rush art. You have to...
Where have you been?
Oh, I don't know, Thomas. Just making the most cinematic grade the internet's ever seen.
Don't look too close at it, yeah? Might hurt yourself, because it's dangerous. It's dangerously good. But in reality, despite the hours you've put in, it looks average, colourless and featureless. A bit like bread. What we are looking at is video bread.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I like it. It's you've gone for that like grey, sludgy, sort of moody look. Anyway, the reason I came in is just to let you know that Malcolm's dead. I guess because you've been so busy doing this.
And trust me, this used to be the story of my life.
That was until I implemented these two things that have absolutely nothing to do with colour grading, but when you stop and actually think about it, have everything to do with colour grading.
So the first thing I implemented can be demonstrated right here with these two ungraded shots. Shot A and shot B. Two shots that were filmed with the same camera, same lens, same room, you know, same plonker.
Alright.
And the same grade. So if these two shots are the same and have the same colour grade on them, why does shot A look so much better than shot B?
And that's because both these shots are not the same. And some of you might have already noticed, but shot A has an unfair advantage.
So let's zoom out and find out why.
Well, that's because it was lit. That's literally it. That also rhymes, which is cool. So, yeah. And you'll see in just a moment how simple this lighting setup is, because it took me all of about 40 minutes to put together, but it meant that this shot was primed and ready to be graded in under 5 minutes.
The simple factor is that lighting your shots makes grading all the more easier. Because without it, you end up in an uphill battle as you try to force the grade to work. And yeah, shot B isn't a complete write-off. It will just take a lot longer to grade, but even after all of that, it still won't look as good as shot A, which was such a pleasure to grade, I might add, that I actually forgot my goldfish was dead. Yeah, almost. So why has this made all the difference? Well, if you're not taking just a bit of time to think about your lighting, your footage is going to lack contrast. It will have no shape and the colours in your scene will feel muted and dull. And that's because if the luminance value of a colour is low, then it will be dark and therefore won't be vibrant. But by adding physical light to our colour, we up the luminance value and make the colours more vibrant and rich. And trust me on this, because I know from experience, because all my old films from back in the day that I didn't bother to set up any proper lights for were always an absolute nightmare to grade. And that's why I always just ended up making them black and white. Not because I was making art house films, but because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
So you don't even understand colours?
Now you lot are probably thinking, well yeah, that's pretty bloody obvious, mate. Who the fuck are you, Sherlock Holmes? Solved the big mystery, have we? Telling us that we need to light stuff if we want stuff to look good? Well look, this fact wasn't obvious to younger me because I lived in an information poor time when YouTube was this and not this.
Today we're talking about cinematic lighting.
So yeah, I'm just doing my bit for society by making this video. You're welcome.
Now, there is one other crucial element at play here, which is helping this scene out very much so in the colour department, which you might have already noticed. And of course, I'll be going through that in just a moment. But first, let's break down this lighting setup because it's really easy to do and makes for a good all-round natural look, which will help you out with your next colour grade.
Alright, so for this setup we're going to need two lights. The first one is going to be our key light, which I've got set to 5600 Kelvin, which is the colour temperature for daylight. Then you'll want to attach a large softbox with diffusion and a grid to control any light spill, you know, going all over the gaff and making a right mess. We don't want that. To try and create a bit of shadow on one side of my face, I've done a little bit of a bodge job by adding black wrap to the softbox to block out the light hitting that part of my face. Now, a better way to do this would have been to put some old negative Philip up right here beside me, but as this shot is, well, it's a wide shot, this wouldn't work. You know, I don't want Philip in my shot. So, yeah, fuck off, Philip. With the second light, I've placed it in the room behind me to light through the doors into the living room. So for the second light, I'm not using a softbox, but a dish to focus our hard light into a beam to create sunlight rays coming through the doors behind me. And that's also why I've gone for a warmer colour temperature. Then I've set my camera to the same colour temperature as our key light. And there you have it, Bob's your uncle. A lovely setup that makes for a nice, pleasant, bright, natural look and helps the colours in our scene become beautifully radiant. Whereas this scene is just the complete opposite. You know, the lighting is low-key, it's moody, it's dark, it's sinister. You know, if he invited you round for tea, you'd be like, no way, man. Your place looks like a dungeon. So put the biscuits away, you troll. So a lot of times with these videos, I'm alone and in the trenches and scared. But that doesn't stop me from still wanting to do shots that definitely require two people to pull off. A bit like the opening scene in this video. So what do you do when you're faced with a situation like this? Exactly, you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. The most logical thing to do is to physically print out another copy of yourself. Which, you know, is exactly what I did. But unfortunately, the geezer was absolutely useless. He was a diabolical excuse of a man, you know? Absolutely zero work ethic. You know, I was actually shocked by the level of laziness he had for filmmaking. You know, he was flopping all over the place, wouldn't hold the camera properly. An absolute liability, and, you know, I will not be working with him again, put it that way. So, you know, I had no choice but to jump into Artlist and use their brand new AI toolkit, which brings together AI image, video, and voiceover tools all together in one organised workspace. So, for this opening shot, I just exported a still from my video as my start frame, and then I did the same, but for the end frame. Then it was simply just a case of writing my prompt and letting Artlist's AI image to video fill in the missing frames. And the quality thing about the results for me was that it kept all of my cinematography choices consistent with the original shot that I put together. And personally, this is how I've been using AI in my videos to do those impossible shots that I can't do by myself, like the opening scene of this video. Or because I just have no idea how to do it in After Effects. Because unfortunately, they don't have a drag-on effect called "Please make this plastic fish look like it's dying." I know, they need to pull their finger out, because that's a request they should be able to service. So yeah, start creating head-spinning visuals now with Artlist's new AI toolkit. Because you know what? This is only just the beginning with Artlist Studio. Now onto that all-important second element, which is a lovely little bit of colour theory. Now there are three colours at play in our scene, and all of them complement each other and help us to achieve this cinematic, colourful grade. Right, so first off, we've got our beige floor, teak piano and cabinet, which is making up about 60% of our image, which is therefore our primary colour. Then our secondary colour is this sort of bluish colour we've got on the walls, which makes up 30% of the image. And then the last 10% of the image is our highlight colour, which is my lovely red jacket. Oh, hello. Breaking your image into these three percentages is known as the 60-30-10 rule, and you will see it being used all the time throughout cinema. And you know, the reason these colours work so damn well together is because they sit on opposite ends of the colour wheel, and therefore create colour contrast, which helps us out when we come to colour grade to make a vibrant and colourful grade. Because without colour in your scene, actually fuck it, do you know what, I summed it up pretty well in that previous video that I was chatting about earlier. It's really simple, and you probably already know the answer. Without any colour in your scene, you've got no colours to pull from when it comes to the colour grade. I'm just gonna leave. Steve, I think there's a fire kicking off in the building, and I don't know, I'm just gonna leave. So, yeah, save yourself, mate. Jump out a window or something. If what you've pointed your camera at is mainly beige, your grade's probably gonna be beige. So with the combination of lighting and colour theory, you'll be well on your way to achieving a cinematic colour grade. A colour grade so vibrant, so rich, so full-bodied, so powerful that it'll be able to create actual real-life miracles.
And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already, but I'm telling you, baby, get up.
So basically what I'm saying is that the grade would be so cinematic and so powerful, it could bring a dead goldfish back to life. Okay? Just want to make sure you understand that. Okay? So the next time you're at a funeral, maybe, you know, show them your grade, and who knows, maybe Grandad will be able to testify in that big court case you got coming up. You know, you were nowhere near that mysterious explosion at the biscuit factory at Stoke-on-Trent between the hours of 3:15 a.m. and 4:45 a.m. You know, you were with your granddad playing cricket in the dark. So yeah, chin up, son. Life just got way less stressful for you. You're welcome.